This is Write a Killer Mystery, and I'm Zara Altair. And this is where we learn to make a good mystery great. So today I want to talk about something to do while you're writing your book, and that's about getting ready to go public as an author. Because once your book is published, you're in a whole different game. And that is you're starting your author career and you become an author. And there's a mindset shift that happens when you go from creative writer to entrepreneur author. And once you publish your book, you're in business and your book is your product, and you're going to be writing more books, so you'll have more products. But you want to work on your business so you can start building your business side of your author while you're writing your first book. So when you prepare your author business for your book release, you'll help your book's success. Because if you wait until you finish, you're going to have a lot of catch up to do. So you want to create your creative business balance. You learn how to do this as you are writing. It's really going to help you in the future. So to help your book and your author career, you start creating a balance between your writing and your business. Schedule time each week, every day, if you can, to build the business side of your author career. And you're already familiar with scheduling your writing time, so you can schedule your business time as well. And you'll get yourself into the habit of working on both sides of your author life, because once your book is published, you're going to be dealing with those two sides all the time. You're going to be writing your next book, and you're going to be in the business of supporting the book that you're working on now. So getting the practice will help you build that momentum when you publish your book, and you'll have an enthusiastic reader base. They'll already be there waiting for your book. And you'll create an online presence for you as an author. So your author business needs what's called a platform. And a platform is your way to become public as an author in the world. So the word platform is pretty general in the industry now. But back in the 1990s, it was a whole new thing, and it started with agents who worked with publishers of nonfiction books, and they wanted to see that that nonfiction book author already had a following, and that they had published articles about the subject of their book, and they had speaking engagements, and they were on the radio or TV or whatever. And that's what they called a platform. And now you can create that public exposure for yourself on the internet. So it's a lot easier than it was back in the 90s. And this is the way that you can work to get people who like your genre interested in your story before it's even published. It's really great, because once your book is published, you want those readers to read your book, to buy your book, and to hopefully give you reviews, so even more people will be interested. So whether you decide to publish your book with a traditional publisher or to self-publish, you're going to be doing this. The days of a publisher doing all your marketing for you are long gone. So even if you have a traditional publisher, you'll need to be marketing your book and putting yourself out there and putting your book out there and getting exposure for you as an author and for your book. So your author platform is a big deal. It's the way you develop as you write your book. If you do that now, you're going to get a head start on building your author platform. Know what you really want. Have a chance to experiment with it before your book goes live to the world, because the purpose of your author platform is to establish future readers for your book. So it's really important. So what are some first steps? Let's go through some first steps to get ready to build your platform. So next week I'm going to talk about actually what goes into your platform. But before you even do that, there's some steps that you can take, and they take some time and some fiddling. So let's talk about those. Um, so creating your author platform, it takes time. So you can do this step by step. You don't want to try to do everything at once. It's just you'll feel overwhelmed, um, and it'll be hard. But if you give yourself the time and you start now while you're writing your book, you'll be well on the way to having a solid author platform ready when your book goes live. So if you're serious about your career, you need to learn this as part of your time management. So before you establish your platform, you're going to have to put some things on that platform. So today I want to talk a little bit about the basics that you're going to need to put things on, things like your website and social media. We'll talk about those next week in particular, but here's some things that you need right away. You need to write a description of your book, and you'll probably revise this many, many times, and you want to think of it as the blurb on the back cover of a book. You want to make it exciting. You want to get readers interested in the book, because this is what you're going to use to get people interested in your book before it's even published. So you want to start playing around with that. And even though it's short, it's a lot of work. And once you start doing it, you'll find out why. And also, Brian Cohen has courses on writing your book blurb, and I can recommend him as a resource for learning how to do that, because there's a skill involved in getting the right things in to get readers excited about your book. It's not telling the plot. It's tricks to get your people excited about reading it without telling them the whole story. Okay, and then the next thing you need is an author bio. That's you as an author. So you're going to need several, actually. One is a short one, very short, like 25 to 30 words, that you can put at the end of an article that you share or on social media. And so it does not need to be a long description. And then you write one that's about 300 words. And if you hire a publicist or you do your own publicity, you may want a third one, which is really long with a lot of information. It's about 1,000 words. And you'll probably rewrite these many times. So first one is a very short one, your book, and a little bit about the genre and why people would want to read it. And then you can expand on that and tell people a little bit more about yourself in your 250 to 300 word description. And then in the long description, you can expand to 1,000 words and tell people a lot more about yourself, possibly why you started writing in this genre, or a little bit more about your love of books. So you need your book description, what's called the book blurb. You need 3 author bios. So it's more writing, but it's just different style of writing. And then you need to create a formal portrait, your author portrait, of you, which is a headshot. It's not sideways. It's not you with a hat on or you with sunglasses. It's really a clear headshot of you. If you look on the back of most books, you'll see an author portrait, and you're going to use that too on a print book. So you want to create a nice formal portrait headshot, and you want it in a color version and also in black and white, and that's going to help you with any kind of media promotion that you might do. So if you do it yourself, just a couple of tips. You want a pretty plain background. You can stand against a plain wall or even hang a sheet or curtain so it's a nice plain background. So it's your face that stands out. It's the you-ness of you, as it were. So people feel like they know you. Or you can also hire a professional photographer to do your headshot, but it's also an important part of your author package. And then, as early as possible, you want to create a cover for your book because it's a visual enticement. Your cover represents your genre and it represents your story. And it's going to take a while to get your cover done anyway if you work with a cover designer, which I highly recommend. Your book cover is one of the first things that people see. It is a very powerful marketing tool. So don't be afraid to budget for hiring a cover designer to get your book cover done. But all of this is while you're still writing your story. If you get all these things ready, then you're going to be ready to start building your author platform, because these are the tools you're going to use and the information you're going to use on the platform yourself. And so once you get all this preliminary content ready, you're ready to build your author platform, because these are the elements to reach readers and get them excited about your book that's coming in the future. So that's it for this week. Next week, I'm going to talk about the elements of the platform itself. So if you want to think about these 4 things, your book description, your 3 author bios, your formal head portrait, and the cover for your book, those are the places to get started with getting readers excited about your book. Okay, and then this week I've been listening to another fabulous story on Audible, and I'm happy to say that Audible is a sponsor for Write a Killer Mystery, and there's so much to Audible now. There's they have a whole series of actors that you know, reading bedtime stories for adults just to help you relax in these trying times and to help you go to sleep. So you want to check out Audible. It's a lot of fun. And I want to thank you. Keep writing, and I will see you next time.